Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody, depending on where in the world you're connecting from or watching this video. My name is Antonio Sanjo, and I practice and teach introspective hypnosis. Today, we have a beautiful audience and now colleagues, and including Alba Weinman, my friend and colleague Alba Weinman. Alba, you want to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening?
I'll just say hello to everybody.
Okay.
That's easier.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us today.
Awesome, yeah. So we have Caroline. Caroline, you want to introduce yourself? So just before we start, Caroline, Zivil, and Doreen took the class, the introspective hypnosis class in the Netherlands this past, what was it, October? November, you see? Time does not exist, right? November. So they took the class and we wanted them to share their experience with you. This is for people that might be interested in taking one of the classes, especially because we're going back to the Netherlands, we're going back to Samaya, that amazing place. But I'll go ahead and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Just if you can just say at this time only who you are, where you are, who you are, where you are, and what is it that you do. Okay, so Caroline, you're gonna start first.
Okay, so hello everybody. I'm Caroline Levelink, which also tells I'm from the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
So it was quite comfortable for me to join Introspective Hypnosis because I was actually expecting to travel a lot to see Alba and Antonio. So I was looking into the classes, but they were in the US,
Mm-hmm.
so that was quite a thing for me to travel. And then at one time in my screen popped up Werkhoven, Utrecht, Netherlands. And I thought, oh my God, that is my backyard. That is really close to my house. So I'm a hypnotherapist already for 15 years now, mm-hmm. in the middle of the Netherlands, Utrecht. And I was very pleased to take this class.
Perfect. Thank you. So far, you're right. Your name is Caroline. You live in the Netherlands, and you were already practicing hypnosis by the time you took this class.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. So let everybody else introduce themselves, and then we're going to get back to you. All right. Thank you, Caroline. Zivil, your turn, please.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Zivil, and I'm connecting with you today from Lithuania, the eastern part of Europe. I've been working as a marketing professional for almost 20 years in different types of industries. And I thought that was my calling. But until recently, until 2018, when I've got a major physical trauma, I had a lot of time to recover, to read some books, to go deep inside. And coming to Samaya was the best thing that could ever happen to me. Lots of experience, beautiful place, but I think we'll cover that later.
We're going to cover that later. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Zivil. Doreen, your turn, please.
I'm Doreen. I'm joining you all from London. The hypnosis class for me, when I heard it was in the Netherlands, I was so happy because it was, also just around the corner, 1 hour's flight away. I work in administration. I've been working in administration office as an executive assistant and personal assistant.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always had an interest in spirituality and the alternative. So in my spare time, I learned how to do Reiki. I learned massage, reflexology. And then I put it aside for a good 16 years until I started following Alba, and through Alba I met
Mm-hmm.
Antonio, and then I did the class, and my whole life has changed literally from that day I did the class.
Awesome. Thank you, Doreen. So before we continue, from what you have seen already, you have people that were already practicing hypnosis, and some that have some idea we're doing it kind of in a different way, and some people that didn't have any experience with hypnosis, which means that in order to join any of the classes, you don't need to know hypnosis. You don't need to be practicing hypnosis to get the knowledge that you need or to understand what we're doing. Alba, anything else you want to say before, or any questions you want to ask them as we progress during this meeting?
No, I don't want to ask any questions, but I do want to make a statement about the class before we start.
Mm-hmm.
And it is my role in the class. And this class is introspective hypnosis. It is tools that I use during my sessions. But these are usually sessions that are not published on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that they're not published is that we're dealing with people's very deep issues, which come usually from this life.
Yeah.
And they could go to other lives. So the reason I'm there is because it's a balance of Antonio's techniques and my techniques. It gives us different views of how to do hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the things that Antonio does in the class, most of it I do myself, but nobody sees that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the proof is that during the class we shared one of the sessions that is private to prove to everybody that she does exactly what we're teaching during the class. So good, thank you, Alva. And yes, and the reason with introspective hypnosis session can be very private. And that's the reason why I don't have that many videos. They're very private session, very emotional, because like any other technique, there's a lot of, I don't know if the word would be healing, but it's self-healing. You know, everybody makes themselves feel better once they understand what the issue was. So let's talk about the class in Samaya, right? So to start with, Samaya was a monastery, right? Or a cloister. And it was sold years ago, and now it was turned into a convention center. Please, Caroline, correct me if I am wrong. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're away from everything. It's very quiet, very peaceful. It's the perfect setup for this class. The service and the food, which is vegetarian, right? It's amazing. We had excellent food every day of the week where we were together. So the experience in Samaya was great, because after the class, we were kind of forced to stay together without thinking about it, right? People didn't have all the places to stay, even though some of them had to rent Airbnbs, which there are not that many in that area. So we were forced to stay together after the class. We had breakfast, lunch, we had dinner together. After dinner, we were able to talk, we were able to know more about each other. And we were able to do a little bit of, I did what I call like mini sessions to specific people in order to help them. But I think it provided the perfect setup for us to do more. So some people made comments. I wish we could do this class longer, or if we could do more things even after the class. So you talked and we listened. And this time we decided to do the class again in Samaya, which we're trying to make it, Alba, please correct me if I'm wrong, we're trying to make Samaya our base in Europe so far, right?
Yes. And I want to jump in there because to me, this place is so beautiful. When I first heard about going in the middle of nowhere in the Netherlands, I was a little hesitant because when I travel, my main concern is what I'm going to eat when I travel all around the world, because food is very important for me. And I don't just eat anything. I need to eat something nutritious. And when I heard that I wasn't going to be able to go out and walk to a store to get food, I was very nervous. But our first meal there was exquisite. And every single meal after that was absolutely fantastic. And I was so happy. My entire body was thrilled. So that to me sold everything, is just the food that I spent an entire week eating really, really healthy food. Yes. So if anybody is concerned about where it is, that you're in the middle of nowhere, everything is provided for you there. So it's really nice.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. It was like, I felt good and it made everything better.
Yeah.
Good. And as we're talking about it, I'm going to show some images of Samaya and where it is, so you can get an idea
Yes.
You wanted to say something, Doreen? No?
I just wanted to say, did you say me? I just wanted to say that it was I echo what Albus said, it was the most exquisite surroundings. And at first I thought, oh my goodness, vegetarian, you know, how can I be a vegetarian all week? Well, I never missed my meat. It was just absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Every meal was different. The surroundings were absolutely gorgeous. You had your space to be on your own if you wanted to. There was a group of the most unbelievable people. Walking into the conference center the first evening, I was so nervous until I turned the corner and I saw Alba, Antonio, and a few of the people who had already joined the class. And that was that. I knew I had done the right thing and I'd met my soul family. It was unbelievable. And we still, all of us, are still very much in contact with each other often. We Zoom regularly, we text regularly. It was just the most awesome experience ever. The best thing ever that I've done for myself. And sorry, to mention that I had never ever taken hypnosis before. Never had a session. I never knew anything about it. And I have, for me, that week, every spiritual interest I've had, every book I've read, every question I've had, it all came together. I've never been so present. I've never learned so much. And to be with Alba and Antonio, it was a dream, actually. It was an absolute dream.
Thank you, Doreen. Thank you. So, yeah, Samaya's a great place. Caroline, let's talk about Samaya. Let's talk about the place. What would you say? I know it's your backyard, right? So it's not fair to ask you those questions, but just being in Utrecht was beautiful, you know?
Yeah. Samaya is actually known for the high energy that place has.
Yes.
And the people that run Samaya are doing everything.
Yeah, excellent.
To keep the energy flowing and high. So all the classes and other courses that are taking place in Samaya are all about energy. So there's a lot of dancing and there's a lot of meditation. There's a lot of inner work and soul searching inside Samaya already. So it was amazing to be with this group in that beautiful place, which is high vibrant already. So I guess you all felt that coming in. It's a bit like coming home, right? It's so relaxed and so loving that you're okay when you step into Samaya, and it's beautiful. It's also beautiful, right?
It's beautiful. Yeah, because my first impression is like, okay, we're here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
This place, there's nothing around. What are we gonna do for 5-6 days, right? Because we stayed like 6-7 days. I was wrong. Lots of things to do, lots of places to go, to disconnect, to enjoy, to talk to other people, to meet your peers, to practice. Many things to do, and the food was great. And the host, Michael and Antonia, awesome.
And the rooms are very comfortable too.
Oh,
there's all one-person rooms, I guess. There might be a few two-person rooms.
Yeah.
You're very safe and very comfortable staying in Samaya.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Caroline. Sibyl, what was your impression about the place, Samaya?
Well, the place, I might repeat, actually, the words are coming similar to what others said, but to me, Samaya was really calm, serene, and beautiful. And the garden next to the monastery was just amazing. And this garden has also its own story. And if you need your own time, it's a really beautiful time to be in the morning or in the evening or even during the break. So it was truly unique atmosphere, just supporting to open up for the experience of the hypnosis week. And also it was a healing experience to me because, well, Caroline already said the place itself, it has has a unique atmosphere, has a unique vibe. So yeah, I love it very much. I didn't have much of Netherlands experience before, but finding Samaya is a unique place that will remain on my maps.
Yes, just to go there and disconnect, you know,
Exactly.
without taking any classes. It's the perfect place.
Beautiful.
Yeah, awesome. Good. Thank you, Zivil. So, Alba, what should we talk about now? We want to talk about the experience that they went through during the class?
Yeah, well, we talked about the level of experience with Doreen and Caroline. Zivil, what was your experience before we started there?
I'm still quite a new to hypnosis. I had an online training before the introspective hypnosis class at Samaya, but the live experience, the live class was truly unique to me. I found the training itself, the material, very professional and very to the point, with a lot of vivid case studies, and we all could experience how the regression therapy can help to heal past traumas, not necessarily from past lives, but as Alba, you mentioned, from current life, right? And also help to heal the grief, erase some traumas, and even to rebuild the relationship. So to me, it was very experiential. And that was the main difference between online training that I had before and this live experience. And it's not only the training, but people around me. Just as Doreen, I was a bit nervous about the whole experience, and because this is not a usual subject to talk about, right? Especially if you are new to it. But people that I've met at Samaya, the group, the mentors, it just all came into one puzzle for me. I felt very safe. I felt safe to speak out. I felt safe to observe and to be part of that group. And I've never felt alone, even though we all had our rooms or, breaks in the gardens. But I felt, and I still have this feeling like being in my family, being with my family, soul family, if I can say.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that happens every time you go to these classes, and there's always a reason why the group comes together. So that specific group comes together, and everybody connects so well, and that connection remains even after the class. We had people that have been communicating from previous classes, and they visit each other in different countries. Right now, we have Sabrina took the class, I think, in April 2019, and she met Shahira, who is from Egypt and lives in Egypt, and they're visiting each other now. Sabrina is in Egypt, they meet friends and they visit each other. So that is good. Good. Thank you for sharing that, Zivil. So why don't we talk about, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want to tell everybody that when you go to one of these classes, it's just, you do learn hypnosis from the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio is very thorough about teaching you from the basics all the way to practice, and we do get to practice every day the techniques that we're using. And we tell stories because it's not just about learning a technique, but what are the pitfalls along the way? What
our
has
experience,
happened?
right?
So what we do, Antonio and I both do, is we tell stories about what's happened to us. We have been learning, and we're still learning. It's not like we're experts. We're teaching you what we are going through,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to tell people our experiences. As to, if you do this, this is what could happen, or don't do this, or this is what you may encounter. So I don't know, asking the other ones, did those stories help you?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I think that's one of the most special things about this week. We get to be with you two, with lots of experience with hypnosis and introspective hypnosis, and I really don't think there's another opportunity to be around this many profound experience in hypnotherapists on this field, because it's a really special field when you go in hypnosis and work with souls and soul traveling between lives, or from one life to another life. hypnosis and hypnotherapy is one thing, and then you have this whole new other field, which is so profound and so special. In my experience as a therapist, I haven't found a place to do what we did with you two in this week. So that is so special, and meeting all those people who have the same interest and the same connection to this field. Yeah, it's magical, actually.
Yes.
I can only add up to Carolina. Every evening we would sit together in the living room, just discussing, chatting, or helping each other. So it was really hard to go back to your room to sleep.
Yeah,
I agree. And exactly that, you know, we were, for me, it was incredible to see people as souls, not as people. And, you know, and it are you there?
I'm here.
We're here.
Oh, sorry.
We're here.
Yeah, so and to through the experience and through Alba and Antonio's teachings, my whole perspective on so many things changed. On being a victim changed, you know. So never mind that we were learning how to help others. It helped us so much. It helped me so much that I've changed so many things in my life, you know, for the better. I've given up so many things. I've incorporated so many things. I feel myself like I'm a better person for it. I have more tolerance. I have more love. And it was really through observing your teachings, observing your videos. It was incredible, really special.
Thank you, Doreen. Thank you for mentioning that, because this is what happens, right? When I created the structure of this class, and to be honest, I never thought that this was going to take place. As we learn and as we practice with each other, as you're going to practice with your peers, you're going to start a healing process, self-healing process. By day 4, if it's a 5-day class, by day 4, all those emotions, all those symptoms are there. And day 5 is really the cherry on top of the pie, because it is then when we're going to address all those issues. So day 5, when you facilitate your own sessions in groups, people feel different because we've been practicing, we've been releasing emotions during the whole week. So it's not, my opinion is it's not only what you learn and you can do to others, it's what you take for yourself and how this can change yourself. Not because of my teaching, it's because you decided to apply what we're sharing with you. And that's what is making the difference, right?
Yeah, another thing from this class, that's any of our classes, but it's really magical to watch this, is that when you gather a bunch of people together who are on this really high vibe already, because you're going to attract those people. When you're in a room day after day, it seems to activate certain skills and clairs. You know, some people will come up with their spiritual clairs, and all of a sudden you'll start seeing in the audience some of the students are reacting a little bit differently because they're picking up things and they're starting to feel things, and it's really magical to watch how this just develops naturally in people. Did anybody find that in the class, that something happened to them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the energy was unique. And after the Samaya class, like, this area is so sensitive. During the whole week at Samaya, it was like I could feel something, like a point here. And since then, I have this feeling every time I go deep inside, I meditate or I relax. Yeah, you can even feel that on a physical level.
Right.
That's I think that's also because it's actually two things, right? It's working with hypnosis, which is therapeutic. Yes. So during the week you go in and out of trance,
Exactly.
constantly. So
mostly in trance. I think most of the class is in a trance anyway.
yeah.
As we observe it, as the observers of the class, we can see that you're all in
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But then you practice, right? You practice all the time during the week. So you learn how to put people in a trance by using inductions. And so you go into the trance and kind of out the trance, maybe not totally, but you're in and out. So you're in and out, you're in your own inner world, which will stir some things up for you because you contact with your inner pain or whatever. So that all comes up, and then you're in an environment, with such a high energy that stirs a lot up already out from itself. So it's like therapeutic and spiritual healing in the same room with the same people who you're gonna trust during the week.
So this is what I think it happens, right? Starting day 2, we start learning inductions. In order for you to learn inductions, you need to experience a little bit of it. And then since that day on, we do inductions every day, just to review, to understand, to really demystify inductions, to show everybody that they do work and it's not a big deal. But starting day 2, everybody's in a kind of an expanded state of awareness. And when you're in that state, all those, as Caroline mentioned, all those symptoms, all those issues are going to start to surface. So by day 4, what normally happens is people coming to me, Antonio, I'm not feeling well. Antonio, I have this symptom. Antonio, I have a headache. Antonio, it's all right. It's exactly where it needs to be, and it's exactly how you're supposed to feel at this point. Tomorrow, when we do your sessions, we're going to address all of those, and that is actually what happened. Caroline, what happened to you on the last day, Friday morning, right? You came to me saying...
I came to you crying. I was crying all the way getting into class on Friday because I had a major migraine attack in the night, which I have sometimes, not so many, but I had it. Of course, I had it on the 5th day of the class because all that energy stirred up and concentrated, and in my system that goes up to my head. And in retrospect, after being actually in session 2 in a demo, I guess it were also entities or other energies which got addressed during the week. I really feel that once you step into a class like that with that kind of energy, everything that's inside of you or is attached or is connected or is in what way connected to you wants to show up. It actually is like, hello, I'm here too. When will you address me? When will you address me?
Exactly.
So that are all those symptoms that people are starting to feel during the week, are actually those parts of them that want to get known and want to be seen and want to get heard to be put out of the system, actually.
Yeah.
So that happened to me too, in the classic way that my system knows how to do, which is giving me a major headache.
Right. So as we're doing this, right, there's a reason why you're there. And during the week, different things are going to start manifesting on you, your fears, your sadness, or whatever that we need to address. And we do that during the class. In Caroline's case, she came to me saying, I have a headache. I'm not sure I can do this. I'm not sure I can stay today. I said, no, you need to be here. That's exactly how you need to feel. Everything is perfect. We did a session and we started working around that symptom, and we found out what the origin of that symptom was. And that session is on YouTube, so I'm not lying. It's there. So, but it started with a symptom the same. It started with everybody else. Yeah. So that's good. Yes, Alba.
Yeah, we have somebody also here that is not showing on the camera.
Oh, Gertjan, yeah.
Yeah.
Gertjan, are you able to?
Are you able to
turn
come
on
up
your
on
camera?
video and audio?
Gert-Jan.
No, hold on. He's
There you
coming.
go.
There you
Hello,
go.
hello.
Okay, all
Hey,
right.
there you
Put
are.
your
It
best
wasn't a
face up.
surprise. The dog is barking.
That's all right. That's all right. No problem.
Surprise Zoom meeting.
Gertjan, so why don't you introduce yourself? We're already recording this, right? This is for
I see
when I'm
it.
sharing the
Yes.
testimonial with people. So why don't you introduce yourself, tell where you're connecting from, on what you do.
Well, I'm Gert-Jan. I call a trauma healer in the Netherlands. Yeah,
Okay.
in a short way. Yeah, and still discovering other things in that area. Yes.
Okay, good. So you did have some experience with hypnosis before the class, or no? No hypnosis
No, I
in
had
what you do?
no experience. No.
No experience. Okay.
No. And I got interested, by your YouTube videos. And so, well, maybe they're in the Netherlands, and you were coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined in, and I was happy to be allowed to join. Yes, at
Awesome.
the last minute, I was.
Thank you. So we're going to ask you the same questions we ask Zivil, Caroline, and Doreen.
Yeah.
Your experience with Samaya, the place. How do you like it?
Oh, very beautiful and a very nice. Nice places, nice energy. And I was happy to stay some days there, also overnight. So it's also a good thing if it's possible to stay at the same place. And it's a nice place, nice people, nice food. And
okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. Awesome. Thank you. So let's talk about now, I don't know, about the amount of information that we share, because if people are ever going to complain about something, they might be complaining about the amount of information we're going to share during the class. And I warn everybody, you're going to get a lot of information. Don't freak out, because we're not only sharing procedures or steps. I want to also provide the reasoning behind it. If this is induction and this is what we say and how we say it, why is it that it works? Here's the reasoning behind it. So we share all that information. What can you say about the material or the structure or the way the class or the flow of the class actually?
I think the flow of the class is a good one. It was good for me in person. I knew nothing about hypnosis, so it was a steady grow of content. And I also liked the exercises. And maybe for me there was more exercises would be welcome. Or maybe it is too short, because the final is the last day, and that's it then.
That's exactly why, and I was mentioning this before we started, that's exactly why we decided to do it a class/retreat. So after the class is over at 5, we have dinner. We can go back and do more practice, do demos, so you can get to experience more and more. We're there already. Okay. We're together already. So that's what we're doing this next class. This is what is different this time.
Okay, they are lucky.
And a group.
They are very lucky.
So this class is growing, it's evolving. So the material changes, the style changes, so little by little it becomes better for everybody, I guess. So thank you, Gertjan. So Caroline, you want to say anything about the flow of the class?
Yeah, it was a very well put together course. There was a lot of information, which was very conveniently in paper. So you get a, what's that called? Working book?
Your workbook, your manual, you get your manual.
Manual, that's the word. So the structure is very clear, and it follows actually the structure of hypnosis. So you start with inductions and then going deeper, and then that will go on in those 5 days. And it's very well put together, which it tells me there's a lot of thought went into this course by the two of you.
Right.
It is
all of it is Antonio. I'm
No,
there
you
to give my
also
experience.
gave your
Yes, I
input.
did proofread that, but Antonio is really a master teacher at this. It's amazing how he puts this together and he presents it. That's why this is his course, and I'm there to support him. I'm there to give him, you know, the flip side, and we're kind of like bookends, you know, but it's his class, and he has put it together beautifully to show how to not only deal with issues of this life, but how to connect it to past life traumas and things like that. And people who are coming to this class sometimes think that I'm going to be teaching the whole class, or it's going to be my techniques. And I think that my videos have taught enough people what I do. This is the missing link. This is the stuff that nobody sees me do. So this is really important for people to know, because when I put a video out there, I edit out, this is the stuff that you see in class. So if you just are going to a session and thinking you're going to be talking to a higher self, this is not what this class is all about. It's really getting in there and doing the work.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And it's actually more than watching you, Alba, being in the class is actually more than just doing the work. It's putting I think am I still on?
Yeah.
You're on.
Yes, you are.
Okay. It's putting a very good example of the attitude of a therapist, which is what we need. We're not doing fun travel. We're doing deep therapeutic work. So people come to you with pain, with severe, real pain, and they need someone to be grounded and stable in working with that client and that pain.
Yes.
And both of you do that, but I was very pleased to see you, Alba, being that therapist. That's the thing that we don't see on YouTube, right? That's just all fun and games. No, that's not true. But a therapeutic work, being a therapist, does require a certain attitude and a grounding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I was.
Because we're there to guide our clients during that process, and we need to connect, and we need to empathize, and we need to respect that is basically inside that body there's a soul. And we need to respect that soul needs assistance, needs understanding, needs information, you know, and that's what we're there for.
I have to say, in terms of learning, I think I said this to you, Antonio, at the course, that I wish you were my high school teacher, because I would have passed all my exams with flying colors.
Thank you.
Just amazing. Honestly, I've never felt so present. You know, usually I can get distracted, my mind wanders. It honestly was just there, learning and observing. It was incredible. And as Carolyn says, having Alba there as well, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and then you're going to see us in class kind of playing ping pong, going back and forth. This worked for me. No, this doesn't work for me. No, this is the way you do it. No, this is the way I do it. So you have two approaches on how to do things. Her approach, my approach, and you get to use whatever works for you. know? So
yeah,
good.
and Antonio and I do things similar, but we do things differently too. And we started together, but we're kind of like going on different paths.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we mix, we go back and forth.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's had some experiences that I haven't, and vice versa. And so in class, what we do is a lot of bickering. Sometimes we go back and forth, like, no, I don't do it this way, I do it this way, and I don't think that works for me. And so I think that being present and watching that allows you to understand that when you learn from somebody, you have to take the information, but then make it your own after you've
Exactly.
practiced it. When there's many times I do things exactly like Antonio does it, because it works. Sometimes it doesn't work for me, depending on what's going on with my client. So I have to have other techniques also. And that's what we teach in class. There's many different inductions. Sometimes it works for one person, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the person just goes into hypnosis on their own, and you don't even need all that stuff. It happened the other day for me.
Remember Samira?
That's right. That's right. So when you're in this class, you're going to see, that's the beauty of having both of us there, is that we have a conversation with you. Not only teaching, but we have a conversation with you about our experiences. Yeah.
And the do's and don'ts, and what worked, what didn't work. And when we had a hard time with our clients, hard time with spirits as we were learning. So all of that, we're just still learning. We're just sharing what has worked for us so far.
And both of you make very clear that it's a learning process while you're in practice. So there's no static technique, which is it, right? Every client teaches you a new thing, brings you to new worlds, challenges you to find new knowledge
to
help that client. So every road into hypnotherapy is different.
Exactly.
For everybody in class, for the two of you. But having that load of experience around you makes you trust your own path in it.
Yeah.
And that's what it did for me.
Thank you. That's good. Good. Awesome. Thank you, Caroline. And Zivil, what about your opinion about the flow of the class?
It worked well for me. It was very logic. It was very consistent. I still keep my handbook prepared by you, Antonio and Alba, on my desk. And I use some techniques and some things that Alba taught us, how to disconnect from the energies in the end of the day. I still use that every day, and it really works for me. I have a deep respect for you, Alba and Antonia, for your unique teaching style and ability to connect with your students, because we've never felt like we are the group that do not know how to do things, and you are the mentors. We always felt like a one big family during that week, and I would highly recommend this course for everyone who is opening up for the unique chance in life to help others or to help yourself, and who's open for a knowledge or idea that death is not is not the end stop, but the doorway to healing. And it's a truly unique course. You wouldn't get that, just on the ads, or these are the mentors that come to Europe once a year or twice a year, depending on the country. So I would highly recommend to have a closer look at the materials, have a close what they offer, and don't hesitate.
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Zivil. And Alba, why don't we really talk about what happened after classes, right? Your experience with people interacting with each other after class. Some of you formed small groups, some went outside for walks, some others, because some people practice some different modalities they were practicing among each other. So one comment that I heard many times is, I wish we had more time, or I wish this class was longer. Which a lot of people still are taking some days off. A lot of people still working full-time jobs, and they do this during their vacation week. So we're trying to respect that and make it a 5-day class. But then we thought, okay, this is Samaya, and we're together after the class anyways, not that people go to different places. Why don't we make it a retreat in the way that we get to do more things after hours? And when we say do more things, is that yes, you will be getting knowledge during the class, you will be practicing with your peers during the class, but it's to give you the opportunity to, for example, see how I facilitate a session, how Alba facilitates a session, after hours with volunteers. I don't know, some other day could be a group regression, some other day could be something else, but doing things even after dinner. What do you guys think about that idea of doing things after hours? Do you think it's a good idea or maybe not necessary? What will you say about that?
I think it would be a good idea because you have time enough when you stay there at a beautiful place, even after dinner. And yeah, I think it's a good idea to practice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that, you know, even during dinner time was so much fun because I made a choice that every time I ate with a different group. You know, I went to a different table and I met different people because there are so many questions that come up during even dinner. And then after dinner, we would sit around the fire and just talk and have our little snacks and everything. And it was a great opportunity to just ask questions. And I think that if we're able to move past that, not only asking questions, but doing demos.
Yes.
Doing actual demos and after class when people are just sitting around because you're not really learning, but you're really learning.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to see you doing a session live? You know, it's good. Carolee, you were saying something.
Yes, yeah, well, I interrupted you.
No problem. We actually talked about that, Antonio, during dinner. That I was lacking some relaxing. Yeah, I was lacking relaxing. That was it, because it's a quite intense program, which asks a lot of you. So I was actually hoping for group sessions with Alba in the evening, because I went to a gathering in Amsterdam, one of Alba's gatherings, which was amazing, just traveling in trance, in hypnosis, with a big group, lying all on the ground, traveling actually to your future self, which I didn't know could be reached, but it could. And that sort of travel would be very, very...
we have that planned. We
good.
do have that planned.
This is a chance. This class coming in July is a chance.
This class will do it because we'll be there in the evenings. People could bring their blankets and...
if you guys need a helper, I'm very happy to fly and pay and come again. No problem.
So
I think we're going to have like 50 helpers.
So here's the thing, right?
Around the corner. Yeah.
Here's the thing. The space in Samaya is limited. We had a little bit over 50 people last time. This time the limit is going to be about 45, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And the reason why we're doing that is because we want everybody to be able to have a room there and stay at Samaya. But before going there, I'm going to ask again, Civil, anything that you would change or you would prefer in the afternoon, or it's a good idea to do activities after classes?
Yeah, I totally agree. Evening activities are must.
We were doing them.
Yeah, we had those anyway, but then, you know, we would gather in the groups and see what's happening around. But if you have that official and you know what to expect, that would be even better. So, yeah, I just agree with Doreen. I'm happy to help out.
What do you think, Doreen? What do you think about doing stuff after hours?
I think it's a fabulous idea. You know, as you saw, we were going from group to group and discussing things, and I think it would be brilliant to have other things after hours. And what's amazing is people have a choice. If it's too much, too intense, they can sit back and watch. But I think everyone would be very, very interactive, to be honest.
Yeah, and some people will say, oh my God, but it's going to be too many hours. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be exhausted. Catherine, my wife was telling me, Antonio, what time are you going to rest? It's 10 already. You have class early tomorrow. Just come rest. I said, I'm not tired. That I feel the energy from everybody, and we were interacting, and that was beautiful. So there will be no time for you to get tired. You're going to be able to, that's all right. You're going to be able to keep learning. Even as Alba said, during lunch, during dinner, keep asking questions, which is great. So here's the thing. We wanted everybody to have a room. Samaya for this activity. I mean, for this class. What happened last time is that when we booked Samaya, there were only a few rooms left. Not only that, people waited until the last minute to maybe either join the class, or maybe they joined the class and they waited until the last minute to book the room. And it was a little chaotic, I would say, because I will try to display a picture of the map of Samaya here somewhere as we're talking about this. Samaya is in the, I don't want to say in the middle of nowhere, but there's not many things that are close to Samaya.
It is in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
So trying to find an Airbnb could be challenging. Trying to find transportation at that time. There's no Uber, by the way. There's no Uber. So it's going to be challenging. So that's why Alba and I decided to book the entire place. Book the entire place, all the rooms. But in order for that to happen, we can do it we had to do this. There's just a few rooms that are single rooms where you can sleep by yourself. There are only 4 of those left. At least today is January 25th, all right? 2020, there are only 4 of those single rooms left. All the other rooms are shared rooms, and that is the only way to accommodate people. Some people say, but I'm not feel comfortable sharing a room. Trust me, after you know your peers, after you start talking about your life as you're doing the exercises, as Civil said, you're not going to your room by yourself. You can keep talking. You can keep working on yourself. It's beautiful. Trust me. So what is it that we want from people? Don't wait. Don't wait. Last time I received 2 emails saying, can you open more spaces? Can you do this? Can you try to get me a room? This time, the price of this retreat and class includes everything. Includes the class, the extra activities, accommodation, and the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You don't have to worry about anything else. You pay, we made a reservation for you. You just show there, and that's it. Anything you want to say, Alba, about that?
Well, yeah, I'm always back to the meals again.
And I try to show some pictures of those meals that we're talking here.
There are people who have dietary restrictions, and Samaya, the chef, was really so accommodating for people who are gluten-free, people who have certain restrictions. They made the meals for them to accommodate them. So if you have any restrictions with your diet, you're not going to miss out on how delicious these meals are. It's just amazing. So don't worry about, hey, I can't eat, with everybody else. They're going to be accommodating. So yes. To me, I always come back to the meals, because if you're eating well, your gut is working well, you're very happy, and when you're happy, you can learn a lot more. So that to me was the I'm sorry, but food is really important to me.
Food is good, and you know what? You have coffee and cookies, because you have those coffee machines.
Everywhere.
Coffee and cookies available all day long. Oh my God.
Yes.
And the coffee was much needed.
It's a beautiful place. Our hosts there are magnificent. They're wonderful, and it's just, you just feel like you're home.
Everybody's so
feels home, like home.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, this is really great, Antonio, and I really hope that with this information, people who are just wondering if they should go there, go. It's we have classes this year in Australia. We have classes in the Netherlands. We have classes in Los Angeles.
In April, we have in Los Angeles.
Yes.
But that's
Peru.
only those. In Peru, we have a tour that's closed. It's coming. It's around the corner. Right, Seville, you must be very excited, as we all are.
Yes.
Meet again in Peru and spend some time together. Oh yeah.
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 But the thing is that you will be attracted to the class that resonates with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you may even be in the United States and resonate with the class in the Netherlands. You never know.
I want to go to Mount Shasta.
This
With
is
Geraldine and the two of you, wow, I really want to go.
So this is an opportunity for you to be in a beautiful group, a beautiful setting. Don't hesitate, because this really is a wonderful experience. There is a lot of self-healing there, and you meet wonderful people who are really on the same path as you are. So don't hesitate.
Everywhere we go is not so much about the place or the country, which we always enjoy and we're amazed every time we go to different places. It's about the people. It was great to meet all of you. It's great to meet everybody when we go to any of the classes, even the ones in Charlotte. When I went to France, to Paris, a few days ago, it was amazing for me. And by the way, this is just me, I'm going back to France in August. So August, they were asking for another class, so I'm going back to France.
I will not be at that class.
No, that one is with simultaneous translation. It's gonna be, I'll be speaking English, but all the material will be in French. The manual, can you imagine, Caroline, your manual in French? Video with subtitles in French?
Can you imagine us bickering in a French class?
so yeah, that's coming. Good. So
fantastic.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for taking the time out of your Saturday to be with us, to share this with other people, to share your experience. Anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
Do it.
Great.
Yes. It's the best value for money that you'll ever spend ever. It's the best thing ever. You have to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I want to add to that. I really want to call out to all my colleagues out there, all those hypnotherapists out there who have their own practice, who are licensed, which is a plus in the Netherlands when you are. Then please go to this class, because there's no other moment, no other opportunity you can learn from masters in this field of work. And there's actually a big field beyond traditional hypnotherapy, beyond clinical hypnotherapy. And when you practice that, then you learn that you can help also clients that you couldn't help before, because the origin of the pain or something like that can be in different timelines.
Yes.
And these two are the masters in that. So please go learn. Go learn that.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you for that.
Good. So, Alba, anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
I would love to see all of you there. Whoever's out there, come. It's going to be a pleasure. I'd love to give you that big hug. That's what my favorite part is giving everybody a big hug every single day. And it's like, it feeds me. So it's a beautiful experience to just be with all of you, and it's going to be like family. You're going to feel so
it's always
good
that way. Yes. And thank you, everybody, again. And for those thinking about joining this class, remember that the most important part of this class is you. It's not us, it's you, and what you decide to do with the information you're going to obtain for the class, and what you decide to do with the connections you're going to make with your peers during the class and after your class. Good. So thank you again, everybody, for spending time with us. We're going to stop this recording, and I will stay with you for a few more minutes. So we're just going to say goodbye for now. Thank you, and I hope to see everybody in the class.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.